Welcome to the Childish Grown-Up Show, where we treat each episode like your movie theater experience. We catch up with one another, play some games, talk previews, and before you know it, it's time for the feature presentation. So sit tight and enjoy this ride of nostalgia on the Childish Grown-Up Show.
Welcome back, Stoop Kids. It's been a while since we got to hang out. You know, it ain't fall break, but it feels like a fall break, like back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But we are doing the thing that we do, and this is your favorite day of the week because this is your favorite podcast, the Childish Grown-Up Show. By the time you're hearing this, you know that this is me, Maurice Hunt III, but I'm not alone. I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Ash Bash, Mia B, fresh off the press. Y'all go check her out at the Culture Garden, Skeleton Key. Going there, repping us well. I love when they ask, what is the show about? And I like to see what y'all responses is. So repped it well, did that. You know what I'm saying? How y'all ladies doing?
Feeling good, excited to be.
Same, feeling good, ready to get into this.
Oh, yes, y'all. And we got a special episode for y'all. This is not a TGIF, but this is a anniversary episode / season 1 recap, however y'all want to put it, year recap. And we're very excited to get into this. It's going to be a little different from TGIF and a little bit different than our other show because we are going to acknowledge some people that have written in since it's been a while. We normally don't do that on these type of episodes, but I want to acknowledge those first so they don't get too far down the road of the comments. So one of our comments, it came from our last episode that we did, Tales from the Hood. We got a couple of comments. One is from Candice.409. This is one of my favorites. I can't wait to hear what y'all thoughts about it. And Mama C also replied, this is another family favorite that I hoped was enjoyed by the crew. What do y'all feel about that? Those comments?
We always like engagement. You know, we always welcome that. Yeah, I want to see some more comments now after the episode has came out and see what they. So it would be nice to hear a little follow up.
Yeah, that was light. I want to hear like the afterthoughts, but you know, we have our people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. That's a funny thing. Now it's like a running thing. It's like I hope they enjoy it. That's a funny little like thing now to be like that we hear that. But yes, we did enjoy it. It was. We bigged it up. Y'all probably already heard it by now. But so yeah, that's really good. Thank y'all both for writing in to our show. And then we also had an Instagram comment from, actually he writes in a lot. He was one of the people that was making a suggestion a little bit ago, but his name is some dude named Warren. He says, was hyped to hear this one as soon as Mia announced it as her pick last week. Side note about the sequels, 2 is trash. Just from what I saw, 3 is better than 2, but neither sequels live up to this. Shout out to y'all for doing this episode.
We appreciate you.
Hey, man. Hey, Mia got in that bag, you know what I'm saying? Picked a good pick, you know what I'm saying? We kept a theme going there. That was fun. Yeah, we'll take it up a notch next year, but that was fun to just kind of ease into doing that. Anything y'all want to say about our Halloween rotation before we start kind of reminiscing, going down memory lane for this episode?
It was fun. I enjoyed doing every episode. We had some funny moments in all of those. I think it was a solid rotation.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very unexpected. A lot of the picks aren't like the typical, ooh, this is a Halloween movie, we're gonna do this. So I think, we did what we do, keep it unique, keep the people on their toes as we tend to do.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I enjoyed it. There's just some times where we do these rotations, and that'd be something that we'll talk about in this episode. There's just sometimes when we do these rotations where it's like all of our films line up to this like this thing that is like a, I don't know, just like a universal feeling that it kind of encapsulates um like moments, I guess. It's like all of it like it makes a megazord, you know. Shout out to my Power Rangers fans. It makes like a megazord, like all of the pieces come together when we pick the films, and they all kind of connect like that sometimes. So it's just, again, this Halloween rotation was a really good one because the pieces really connected and it felt like unified. So I really enjoyed talking about it. I look forward to next year doing it again and seeing where we go, and even finishing out this season. So with that being said, we are now out of Mia's favorite holiday, and she got to do what, 4 movies and a TGIF, you know, including our big cousins at the Culture Garden. So she really got to, like, you know, bleed this month's of films and conversations around this topic. So
Goodbye, spooky season.
now we're getting into the wholesome, you know, we're getting into the wholesome family, you know, the cheesy, all of that good stuff. So with that being said, this is our 1 year anniversary. We have been doing this for a year. I can't believe it. It still feels like we've been doing this for like 5 months. Like it's ridiculous. We've talked about how we came together to make this podcast. Um, but what I'll throw it in your court first, Mia. What was it like those first few episodes? How it felt like you hadn't gotten fully in the consistent, like, you've podcast before, but like having your own podcast, meeting, you know, me and my sister, you know, this the whole new crew, this new dynamic, and now doing this every week and like just getting into the stride of it and figuring out our show identity. How did that feel in those initial days versus like how does it feel now?
Oh my goodness. I don't know when I feel like I caught my rhythm really, but I was a little nervous at first just because I haven't necessarily always been comfortable on camera. Um, y'all might not realize how shy I am in real life. But no. And you guys are siblings, so you have like a lifetime of chemistry and camaraderie that you were going off of. And I'm just trying to fit in and find my way. But instantly, though, even with all that, I still felt like we had good chemistry. I felt like maybe by episode 2 or 3, I felt like we were already finding a rapport and a rhythm, and I was seeing how, we all bounce off of each other and, you know, working out the kinks, but I enjoyed it from the beginning. I knew that it was gonna be cool. And it's been great. It's gone by so fast. It really does not feel like a year at all, like at all. I looked at that list you sent and I'm like, how?
Yeah, it is crazy. Like it, the amount of, because I guess I kind of look at it like how many themes of movies we've done versus how many movies. You know, the themes is probably like we maybe done 12 in my head. Like, but you got to remember that's 12 times 3. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, Ash, what about you? How did it feel like? I mean, me and you were coming off of doing our so far pod, so you definitely at least got 25 episodes under your belt consistently of podcasts. And of course, we had this a similar idea to this years ago, but it never materialized. So how did it feel like those first few times of recording and getting into this space and trying to find the chemistry and talking about movies? And then how does it feel now?
I was nervous too, to be honest. I mean, we have Mr. Podcast over here, the 10-year seasoned veteran who has done a plethora of things in this space. So yeah, you're my brother, but still, like, this is your thing, and like, it's almost like a house guest. Shout out to the house guest
Shout out to
episode.
the house guest.
So coming in and then also having me, like, two women and then you. So when you told me the idea, I thought that was cool because it is always more so of a male dominant space.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that spin on it too. But when we did So Far Pod, of course we weren't on camera, so it was very comfortable. We're talking about Drake. This is, Drake, music, movies, like, this is our thing. So we always loved movies, and it's a big part of our family. So again, like you said, years ago, we wanted to kind of do something in that space, and we wanted to do something together because we are extremely close and we have a lot in common. So once he presented it to me, I was excited. And again, I didn't want to be on camera. I'm very introverted. I'm very low key. So it is taking me out of my comfort zone and stretching me more than I've ever been stretched. That sounds kind of crazy, but
yeah,
y'all know what I mean. But it's been enjoyable. It's been wonderful.
You know what I mean?
Say nothing.
You know what I mean? Nah, for me, y'all probably don't know, but for me, this was like really important. And the reason it was so important to me was because, getting into this space, like, I mean, if anybody's ever listened to Another Week in the Books, it's one of those things where I had a lot of trial and error, like trying to podcast with many groups and collectives, and just didn't, again, materialize. And so, when we did Another Week in the Books, that was more of like Spike's brainchild. We collaborated on it, of course, but it was like more of his brainchild. And then, Good Earners is what I reached out for him to do the Sopranos pod. And I liked what we did with Good Earners. I think that we really established a good brand. And I also like what me and Ash was doing with So Far Pod. But this pod was so important to me in the sense that once I was thinking about names for the pod, and I had Mia in mind and Ash in mind, I just immediately seen like the concept of this branding. I'm like, this is like a brand. Like, because again, for y'all that don't know, we originally, the show was going to be treated as a spinoff of the Culture Garden. It was going to be called the Culture Playground. And that was the original idea. We were going to spend more time on like not animated films, but like child films, and take a like grown spin on it. But it kind of developed a little bit more. Rich was like busy, and we didn't get a chance to communicate as much as we were trying to. And in that time, I had a lot of time to think, and that's when it came to me. I was like, man, I kind of want to do something else. I kind of want us to like kind of have our own thing. You know what I mean? And so I decided, I was coming up with names. I shot Ash a text and was like, what do you think about this? And she kind of sat with it. And I think this is before I reached out to Mia. So that name was probably already established by the time I reached out to you. And I was coming up with logos and designs. And by that point, it was like, it just had a ring to it, Childish Grownups. And that is just, so anyway, those early stages of recording, I could talk about that stuff all day, but that's another pod. But those early stages, just building the chemistry, just trying to be a scientist at figuring out, our big cousins, how well they do over there. And they have been excellent for a long time, and just trying to find our version where we're not, it was important to me to make sure that we acknowledge them, but I didn't want us to be like, oh, this is the Culture Garden that talks about other kind of movies that are not in the culture. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be anything in that vein. I wanted to make sure that we are our own brand and people can respect our style and what we do differently. Definitely was inspired. But so those early stages was like real focal and, trying to figure out our style and vibe. Now recording, it just keeps getting better. Like it keeps going up more and more. And I'm like, we're finding our style. We're finding like we're making peace with all of the things that we're doing as far as whatever we got to say, what we didn't get to say, all of those things. So it's been pretty cool. Y'all that are listening, I have my son, if you're not watching, so y'all just gonna have to deal with it. This is the grown-up side of being the childish grown-up. So so with that being said, let's talk about favorites and least favorites. What is your favorite movie that has been reviewed that you didn't pick.
I was gonna say too, bro. Can you list in our chat? Would that be too much to
Huh?
ask? Can you put that list in our chat? Would that be too much?
Let me
That
see.
screenshot?
Let me see.
Just I know it's so many.
Let me see.
A favorite review that we didn't pick.
If I can see the screen. Okay.
Just one, huh?
Yeah, it's
Well, I already know what mine is.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm about to throw it in the chat.
You got it, Mia.
My favorite film that we reviewed that I didn't pick was Cop and a Half.
Elaborate. What was?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had never seen that film before. It was the first watch, a press play for me. And um it was school did that with us, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And like I was just from the time I watched the movie, it was so funny and I was like amazed that I had never seen it before. So talking about like all of the like the little funny things throughout the movie and getting you guys perspective being that you guys had seen it already because and it's such a interesting like to watch a children's movie for the first time as an adult and then talk about it. And it was just so like it was just like a childish um like I felt the nostalgia even though I wasn't necessarily a part of the nostalgia because I hadn't seen it before, but it still felt like a movie that I would have enjoyed as a kid. And I don't know, I just really like talking about that one because I remember having like some good laughs in there.
Yeah. Okay. No doubt. I thought you were gonna go with that because I know you've referenced it a few times, like just in subtle places, and that's dope. Ash, you know what you got?
Oh, that I enjoyed reviewing, you're saying?
I guess. Well, I guess I should have prefaced that. Like,
No, there's probably
is
some
that? Yeah, I
categories.
guess that's me. Is that what you enjoy reviewing the most or watching? Well, I mean, it could be both. That's fine if you know.
I
But
mean, oh man, I
So
want
many.
to say both because most of the films that we've reviewed, even if I didn't pick them, I had already seen them. So it was just kind of like
Mm.
it was enjoyable for me to watch and review.
mhm.
Um, because all the ones that I've seen, I pretty much enjoyed watching. So this was, yeah, I'll say both.
Okay, so Ash, then what was your favorite one to watch that you didn't pick? And then what was your favorite one to review that you didn't pick?
My favorite one to watch that I didn't pick. No, I'm gonna go to review. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with Poseidon because I
Ah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
when we got to that, and this might come up again depending on what you have for us, I'm sure, but like there was kind of a shift when we got to Poseidon. Like the conversation kind of got a little deeper. Um, and again, I feel like we talked about so much in that movie. It was so much going on, and it really put us in a different mindset of survival and just so many different perspectives that we had watching it, and kind of I enjoy watching it too though because I always like movies like that. It's kind of weird that I do, but anything like with water, like if they gotta try to survive, like anything with water and ships and stuff, like I'm really into it.
Mm.
So I would say I enjoyed watching that and I enjoyed reviewing it because I think the conversation went up a notch to another level. Um, so yeah.
Mine's would, ironically enough, around this same time, it would be A Christmas Story.
Cool.
Because A Christmas Story was again similar to her Cop and a Half experience. It was the same with me. It was this movie that I was watching, and I was like, "What am I watching?" But it was just so interesting. 1 second, y'all. It was so interesting because it was a new experience. It was this kind of indie film vibe to it. It was such an untraditional Christmas style of a story, and I didn't think I would like it. Like especially first 20 minutes in, there's such a cartooniness to it. But I don't know what it was. It's like I enjoyed this kind of interesting thing. And it's not my favorite review, but I just remember like thinking about how real it was when like he lost some glasses and like he lost his whole like cool and he just would not stop whooping that kid. I said every kid had that beast mode when they was little and like leave me alone, like that whole thing, you know. So that movie was just a interesting movie, and it was just great world building. Like that lamp, you know, I shot them the text the other day with the leg lamp. You know, it's one of them things. Now I was like, bro, I'm so glad I watched it because I always was curious about this movie, and Mia happened to be a staple in her family's upbringing and household. So that was probably my favorite watch. That wasn't my pick. Ironically enough, I'm gonna double back to you, Mia B. I'm gonna go 16.
13.
13, yes. I'm thinking about Andre 3000 one. 16 ain't enough. Actually, you know what? Let me hold tight because I'm looking at that Jason's lyric, and I really enjoyed that. Like I didn't see. I don't know.
We got some good stuff.
That's what I'm saying because there was like these reviews that go there. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna save 13 because I think it'll fit a different question. So my favorite one to review that I didn't pick. Actually, you know what? This is it's even better. The Good Son. I actually should have put. All that. Because I almost want to say my watch experience. Like we watched it as a family, and it was like a real thriller to us. Like we had the lights off in the room. But I'll go with review. I'm still keep the Christmas Story there for watch. But yeah, man, that movie, The Good Son, man, that it still sticks with me to this day. And the conversation we were able to have with it, and the tough decision making that we kept speaking to with, you know, his aunt, it was just a great episode, and it did numbers too. You know, it did really wonderful on YouTube. So, and an anniversary of it just came up recently, so the timing of it all. So yeah, that's probably my favorite review that I didn't pick. Now, Mia, what was your favorite review and watch if you want to tie it in, but your favorite review that you did pick?
Ooh, let's see. Let me see. Let me pull the list back up.
And it's in the chat too, for the record.
Yeah, I got it big right now. I'm looking at
it. Okay. Oh, it's so hard because there's so many to choose from. But I think, and I don't want to step on your toes because I know that you have 13 for another one. So I'm actually going to go with Riding in Cars with Boys. Because again, you two hadn't seen it. Mm-hmm. And that's another one of those movies that is not necessarily lighthearted. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't necessarily the easiest conversation because there's so much nuance in the film, and we had a lot of differing opinions about it. I think that's what made that episode so good, is that it really kind of brought out our little, like, you know, debate, you know, which, you know, those we tend to have a very smooth rhythm when we're talking about movies, even if we don't all like the movie. But I feel like this one in particular, we were like really kind of like, no, we were like going back and forth a little bit on what we thought about the movie, or like what we thought the the goal of the movie was, or
Mhm.
like how we saw the characters and their personalities. And it was just so interesting going back, like, okay, this was a this was a really spirited conversation, but I liked it a lot because it was interesting to hear, the differing perspectives. Plus, another one that I feel like might be a deep cut that a lot of people don't know about.
Mhm. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, I like that. Like another, checkpoint in our development and growth. I like it. Ash, what about you? What's your favorite movie that you picked that you like? How we reviewed it the most?
That's just so many. Go with Miss Doubtfire because that was
Mm.
also one that we all grew up watching. But again, the change of perspective, like from the grown up side to
Mhm.
watching it, as a kid. So like that whole switcheroo was just so good because then it's like I'm watching it with my grown lens and we're looking more into the marital aspect of it and not just like the kids. So like we were really digging in deep on that, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Looking at
Mhm.
his point of view and then looking at hers. Um well, I think that was a really good review.
Mhm.
I like that one a lot.
I'm having a hard time between two for me. It's between Poseidon and The Matrix. Those two are close for the same reasons,
Mhm.
because they stirred something in me emotionally, like where. But I probably go Poseidon because it stirred me so much that it almost came out. Well, some of it came out on air, but it didn't all the way physically come out. So it stirred me so much for some reason, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why for it's the film, but getting into it, just the severity of it, I don't know. In the world, even a year ago, the world isn't where it is now, and for whatever reason, at that time, it just felt so right at home. So that Poseidon review and just how we were looking at it, and it was, I don't know, I don't know, bro. That movie is just one of them movies, and like the slim chance of it all, and like knowing like the father died, he knew when he went one way he wasn't coming back. All it just like what they had to go up the pipe, like it's got me so emotional. Like I remember, so that's probably my favorite because the depth of it, similar to what Ash was saying, as far as what I picked. Uh, What is your least favorite review? It doesn't have to be one you picked, but what is your least favorite? And when I say least, I mean because I want to do something about surprise reviews. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I don't want this to be a surprise as far as like because there'll be one because the question will be after is what is the surprisingly better review than watching the movie, and what is the surprisingly not as good review in comparison to watching the movie? So because that happens. So in this sense, though, what is like your least favorite where you walked away and you was like, I mean, it was cool. I mean, we did it, but it definitely just wasn't my jam.
Ooh.
I can go first if
Mm-hmm.
it's probably A Christmas Story for me. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's one that I just couldn't vibe with it. And I know we talked about it on the episode, like even with the narration, and it just wasn't my type of Christmas movie. Like I really care for that one. Like it just I couldn't I didn't really like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What you
Oh
what you
my goodness. I don't know, but I guess I'll go with
Mhm.
um oh, I don't feel like I have one that I just didn't like,
Mhm.
but if I had to say maybe an extremely goofy movie, just because I was like, For one, I was just like, how you gonna pick an extremely goofy movie before we review a goofy movie? And then it was just, I don't know. Like, it's not that I don't enjoy the movie because we even had that conversation while we were doing the review. It was just so it was just I didn't feel like there was much that I could pull from, like depth wise in that conversation because the movie is literally just goofy. Like it's just a goofy cartoon. And while I love it, it's an enjoyable watch. Talking about it, I was like, I don't even know
Mm-hmm.
how to get this movie to be interesting to talk about. Like, of course, we found points, but I didn't feel like I did my best work because I didn't feel like once I was watching it, it just was like, oh, okay. I just couldn't.
I remember you was feeling that way in real time too.
Yeah, like I didn't feel like I had much to say other than bouncing off of what like you were saying because
Mm-hmm.
you really enjoyed it
Mm-hmm.
and you found a lot of really good meaning and good little points in it. Some real like deep points in it. And I was just like, okay. So if I had to choose one, that would be probably my least favorite. But
Mm-hmm.
even still, it wasn't terrible. It just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's how it is. I'm gonna probably say enough.
Of course.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. It's our I think it's our longest review. Let's start there.
Really?
It's 2 hours 53 minutes. It's like, bro, how and we must have been having a great time. I'm assuming because it's even longer than Love and Basketball at 2:48, and that's like right there. So, obviously over the journey, we found a way to structure our shows a little tighter, finding that sweet spot time wise. So it's too long, and I think even just watching it, I didn't enjoy it nearly as much because it wasn't how I remembered. Um, and it just wasn't how I remember when we talked about it. I, I think it was cool. I liked it in the rotation. I think that it was an empowering film for the rotation of the Mother May I month, who's dedicating films with lead mothers. But yeah, this is too long. Like I'm not even a fan of like I it's just too long. So yeah.
I
All
don't
right.
remember what made it be so lengthy, but I must have
I
been
don't remember that either.
saying
But
it was a good episode, but because this movie's not even long. That's the crazy
I
part.
know. Yeah. And it would have
So,
been. It might have been a structure thing too, where
mm,
things were happening so fast. Maybe we were trying to figure out how to structure. Do we do characters? Do we do? It might have been because I remember we was kind of in that vein of our style of review. I don't know. It wasn't a bad review, similar to like the ones y'all picked. It's just when something's that long and the movie doesn't really warrant it. Like Love and Basketball is pretty long. I still wouldn't have liked it to be that long, but it's
yeah,
still earlier in our
right.
thing, and it's like we've been waiting to talk about this. So all right. What about surprising film that you liked watching, but then when we did the review, it was like, I thought there was going to be more to talk about. I guess not. And then on the flip side, a film that you was like, oh, okay, this is cool, but surprisingly enough, you was like, man, that was actually a really good podcasting episode. Now, I can start if y'all would like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the latter, a movie that I did not enjoy, but yet I feel like it was one of the best episodes, or I really enjoyed actually podcasting, was 13. I do not like this movie at all. Like this movie was boy, like me and I was like, oh my God, like whoa. But yeah, no, but I knew, but even then when we did it was like after we did the Ride in the Car with Boys, I'm like, okay, I want to take a different approach to a film that I don't enjoy instead of just like getting on here and shitting on it. Like I'm not about to do that. And it was actually, Mia led the conversation the first time, which spawned a future idea of what we're going to do moving forward, probably even in this month. It spawned that, and Mia did an excellent job in leading the conversation, and she actually pulled out things that I didn't consider and think about, and it made it so good because it kind of brought us back to a nostalgic time of being in middle school, and even though her story ain't necessarily relatable to me personally, but it is like the conversation was built around people you might know or you've been around, like, okay. And so it was a great conversation, like to use the film loosely to kind of tie into like our own personal thing or whatever. So that's like and honestly, it's really close. That's probably number one. I have another one that I could have put there, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it for something else. And then a movie that I thought was good watching, but not so much in conversation, is probably Big Daddy. I think Big Daddy. I thought it'd probably been more. I mean, again, we met our standard time if I want to talk about it. But I remember walking away feeling like, dang, I don't know. I was like, how to attack it, like where to go. It's like the concept's there, but and that's kind of how I look at it. Where I enjoyed watching the film, taking the notes, but when it came to the review, it was like, it really wasn't a lot to, go with. So I probably say like Big Daddy, as far as that's the surprise on enjoying the movie, but the review wasn't as much there to review. Any one of y'all can go next.
So a movie that I enjoy watching that it was a little more difficult reviewing. Probably Batman Forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I didn't enjoy watching it, but it wasn't like, oh, this is so good either. But it was cool. It was a cool watch. But then when we were reviewing, I feel like it was difficult to kind of pull some things together with that one. Of course, it's a superhero movie, and sometimes it's difficult to pull from those depending on what they are. So I feel like that one was one that was kind of, I don't think I had a lot of notes. We did what we do best. And and then what was the other one you said?
A movie that you may have not necessarily enjoyed as much, or it was just a cool watch, but the review was really pretty good. Like, I walked away like, wow, we really was potting. You know what I mean?
I would agree with you. 13. That was a really good episode. Like, we did our thing. I actually have to go back and listen to it to kind of refresh.
Yeah, I got to go back to
terrible watch for sure. It was a lot going on that
a lot going on
that I was kind of in shock. It was a lot of shock factor for me. Again, this is one that me and bro have not ever watched. Yeah. So it was a lot of shock, a lot of weirdness going on, but real. I'm sure it happened in other people's lives or things, people dealing with drug abuse, all type of things, real life things going on in that movie. So I feel like we had a lot of conversational pieces in this. It's right under 2 hours too. So like time wise, it was really good. It felt like we were just flowing through it naturally, even though it was such a daunting experience watching. It was so just horrific. No, I'm just stupid. But no, like the review was fire.
Yeah, it was. It was. What about you, Mia B?
Okay, so the movie that I think was not the most enjoyable watch for me, but I enjoyed talking about, probably South Central. Because that wasn't one of the movies that I had grown up with, really. Like, I had seen it, but I hadn't seen it a lot or watched it a lot. And even watching it, I was like, I'll probably never turn this movie on again. Yeah. But once we started talking about it and the themes of like fatherhood and the really layered conversation about it, it was actually really a really good conversation that I enjoyed having, even though I didn't necessarily enjoy watching the movie. And then on the flip side of that, a movie that I liked watching, but when it came to talking about it, I was like, oh, was Deep Blue Sea, which was...
Oh, I forgot about Deep Blue Sea.
Because...
I forgot.
I love that. I always loved that movie. Always loved that movie.
Yeah.
But when I was watching it to take notes, and I remember getting on camera and be like, you know what, my bad, y'all, because
That's right at the gate.
I did not realize how dumb this movie is in like in reality. It's not an easy film to talk about because it's really like it's not good, but it's enjoyable and I've always liked it and I'll probably still like I could watch it right now and be completely entertained. But it was so hard to have a serious conversation about that movie because of how ridiculous it was. But
Yeah, it came off the heels of Deep Blue Sea. I mean, for Poseidon too. So
right.
I think that played a little bit of part in there. I would say if we had it later, maybe we felt differently. But
I don't know.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, man, I remember that too. Dang. Well, but I guess I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. But anyway, was you finished? My bad.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
it.
okay. Now that's a good one. I forgot about that. Like, yeah, that was definitely an instant. Like, oh. All right. What is the funniest movie? The movie that let me okay. What's the most unintentionally funny? I think we're gonna say the same thing. The most unintentionally funny movie / review that we've done, and I think we might go trips here. I just don't see it being any other way.
I know you have to be thinking about the same movie I'm
Yes.
thinking.
Yeah. You always
It's
say
gotta
it.
be
Yeah.
O.
It's O.
It's gotta be O.
Is that for you, Ash?
I mean, it's for the half.
You said, oh, cop and a half?
Yeah, man.
But I feel like Cop and a Half was intentionally funny and
Oh
O
yeah, that's true. That's true.
like we didn't expect it to be funny.
That's true. You're right. So we can go O. Yes.
Because
oh man, that right there, bro. And it's just like, man, he just all up in his head, like no research, nothing,
Yeah,
bro. Like we was rolling. Like I still be thinking about when like it was like early in the review. It was just not supposed to be that funny, but it was that funny to me. Is when it was like, okay, so he's doing all this and doing all of that. So first off, chill out. I was like, bro, I was crying if y'all go back and watch it, just because it was like this dude is so far from chill, and
like,
the way we
kids.
like it's like, and Mekhi Phifer, we already talked about how intense his acting is. So that added on another layer to like this character. Oh man, like oh my gosh, this man.
He didn't ask any questions. Like, bro, you just out here.
Oh,
this man slam dunking, breaking glass, and just mean mugging her down. Like, bro,
calling the dealer up. I mean, he's just going crazy.
Crazy.
Meanwhile, nobody knows why he tripping. He just wilding.
Yeah.
Homegirl stealing scarves. She ain't asking no questions. It was just a mess.
Yeah, what was her friend name? I forgot. She was wilding.
Ah, that was it. Crazy over the cloth, man. Like, oh man, y'all got me laughing just thinking about it because that was just so freaking funny, bro.
Oh, that sweater. I mean, that scarf.
Yeah, it's like crazy. Like, I don't know how they wrote her character. Okay. All right. Let's talk about some of the rotations here. So we didn't really begin to do the rotations until we got down to February. So we had started last year in November, October, beginning of November. We didn't start our rotations until February, I believe. And that's when we did our Candy Grandma. So we did the Candy Gram, we did March Madness. So it's February, March, April. Did we do Dealer's Choice in April? Let me see. I think we did. Did we? You got Harry the Spy, Big Daddy, Three Ninjas.
Yeah, I think that was Dealer's Choice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah. Because, okay. So we did Dealer's Choice with Harry the Spy, Big Daddy, Three Ninjas. Then we did The Mother May I, Riding in Cars with Boys, Losing Isaiah Enough. Then we did Father's Day one. Then we did another Oh, we did summertime vibes, and that's when we did She's All That 13 ATL. Then we did superhero movies, hero films. We did The Matrix, Hancock, Money Talks. I mean, Money not Money Talks. That was the break in between. Hancock, Batman Forever. Then we did Dealer's Choice, The Good Son, Crooklyn, and House Guest, which kind of became this home theme in itself. Of course, we recently just did Bones, The Faculty, and Tales from the Hood. And then, of course, our beginning, of course, our pilots, The Lion King, Toy Story, extremely goofy movie. Then we did, Christmas films. I guess that would be technically our first, which would be, The Preacher's Wife, Jingle All the Way, Home Alone. Oh, this is before we had TGIF as well. So that's why I was like, somebody got 2 picks. I forgot about that because I'm like, wait a minute, that's 4 Christmas movies. Okay, so what was your favorite personal rotation or theme, I guess? And then what do you think was like the best one as a triune?
So hard because there's so many that I like a lot.
Yeah.
I like the. I don't want to jump too soon here because I was gonna go with the March Madness because I did like those. But,
they got Rocky in there, don't it?
Yeah, it got Rocky, O, and Coach Carter.
That was a
we really was talking about that throwing the towel and that, like, bro, all that was like. And we really got into Apollo a lot.
I really did like March Madness. I feel like we had that really funny O review. Rocky was dope. And I feel like we had a really cool conversation about like the basketball choreography when it came to Carter. I feel like that was a little round.
That was. It was
solid.
That might be a solid. Let me not speak too soon here. I probably go. That's probably my favorite. I say that's probably my favorite. The March Madness, because I think it lended to a lot of creativity where, we kind of treated the sport as a backdrop and focused in on the humanity of a Rocky Balboa, of a Coach Carter, of a Odin, or whatever was his name was. Yeah. So the sport was kind of in the back, and that's what made it kind of dope to like us remix our own theme within the film review. So that's probably my favorite, March Madness.
All right. If you choose March Madness, I think I'm gonna go with our Candygram month.
And the movies we did for that was
Love and Basketball, Jason's Lyric, and The Notebook.
That's a good rotation.
We haven't talked about it, but I think The Notebook was another one that was really unintentionally funny because Mo in his tourist ways was just so determined that old folks' home was the house.
Oh man, I forgot.
And that was so funny. Like watching that. Me and Mama C have talked about that and just cracked up so many times.
Goodness gracious.
I think that was a fun one. I think that also each movie, even though they were all romance movies, we had like they were so different, the conversations that we had, because we had The Notebook, which is like the epic love story, universal love story, and then we had the hood movie, then we had the classic like high school Love and Basketball, which is a huge round table debate movie that's been going on for, ever on the Instagrams and the Twitters. So I think it was just a good conversation round.
Absolutely. I totally agree. That's a good one too. Ash, what about you?
I mean, they're all so good. My Father's Day rotation too, though. Like the Fathers was at Liar Liar, South Central, and a Goofy movie. Kind of ended it on that lighter palette.
Shout out to
with the
Juice.
Goofy movie.
Shout out
Yeah.
to DC Jew.
Because again, we went outside the box. Like, you know what I mean? We could have hit him with anything, but liar, liar, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
Terrible father, right? South Central, he goes to prison, do 25. And then, of course,
25
Goofy
for putting in work.
So it's like we just went outside of the box. And I like when we do that because it just makes for good conversation and we're putting our own little spin on it. I think that's what really makes us unique in how we review our movies and the selections that we pick. It's not what you think is going to be. And sometimes it is, because sometimes you just can't let it slide. We gotta do it. But
No
we gotta
doubt.
do it for the culture. But other than
So
that,
every
like,
year they got to do it for the culture every year. Now,
do it for Lil Saint. You know what I'm saying?
Do it
but yeah, so I pick the fathers rotation.
Again, you're right. Like a lot of these, you can even go to really the pilot rotation for real.
Yeah.
Like the Lion Kings, Toy Story, and Extremely Goofy. You know, even though Mia doesn't like it as much, but that's still fun rotation, and just like that whole Toy Story style of that was fun. Just getting into that world. We're definitely gonna get in another animation rotation.
Yes, we're due.
Okay, well, here's what I'll do. Because I don't know if y'all had anything particular that y'all wanted to ask or bring to the table. Because if not, I got a couple of things, conclusive things to ask and speak to. So I didn't know before we get out of time of talking our films and looking back.
You go ahead, Maestro.
All right. Well, so yeah, that was just a little taste. Y'all send in all of that to us. Like, let us know what was y'all favorite rotation, what was y'all favorite review that we did, or favorite watch that y'all never watched the movie because y'all keeping up with us. You know, let us know. Let us know some of the funniest moments of our season 1 of the Childish Grown Up Show. Like, you know, so much has changed from even the design and the look to the style of review to the rotations. We'll continue to do that. So, things that I want to say before I, give y'all the floor. I can't adult to that's fire. Hey, need that. Hey, with the Chucky. Went all the way up. Hey, look, I'm gonna have to make sure I get that in the screenshot, man. Gotta figure that out. A couple of things. So I want to update the listeners as well as my two co-hosts here. So some changes that are going to happen going to season 2, and we'll do this every year at the same time. Recap it and everything. Season 2, a few things are going to change. So I've decided the TGIF is going to kind of be put on the back burner for now. And in exchange, what we would like now, I don't know, this requires a lot from you listeners. Not a lot, but it's going to require something from you stoop kids. We want to let our 4th movie be a movie pick that y'all pick. So what that means is y'all got to be tapped into our rotation of themes. So make sure you make it fit. So it's kind of our mystery movie. Y'all send it to us at our email, childishgrownups3@gmail.com, or YouTube. Y'all should review this, or our Instagram, the Childish Grown Up Show, no spaces. We need y'all to send that in because that's the way we want to do it. We want to keep the film reviews going. The TGIFs are some of my favorite and most fun episodes, but people are not tuning in as much to those. So I want to make sure that we just keep this thing flowing between nostalgia and films. And so that's what's going to be season 2. Also, our podcast art. I know I've had fun with the balloon. Balloon is kind of a big thing right now. So, but season 2, the cover will be the covers will be a little bit different. So, but that ain't really a big deal. And I'm trying to think of anything else that's going to change. Hopefully we can get some reels and some clips in or something like that. That would be the goal, is just to get more stuff in like that. But I want to leave the floor to you ladies as we close. What are you looking forward to with season 2? And of course, at the end, it is we're getting into our, I don't know what you want to call this month, grateful, thankfulness, I don't know, turkey month, however you want to put it. Get the family together. You know what I'm saying? Family barbecue, something like that. So, Mia, I'll give you the floor first. what are you looking forward to with season 2 uh with our show?
So I'm really looking forward to, again, talking about movies that people don't really talk about much. I'm really into the deep cut. That's like
Mhm.
my bag. And I'm excited to possibly introduce you to a couple more movies that you've never seen before. Maybe take it even further back, past the nostalgia to some good oldies but goodies. Maybe get a little nostalgia for the senior stoop kids. um but yeah, and I'm just looking forward to, you know, even tightening up our rhythm even more, seeing how we progress another year from now and what we're talking about.
Hmm. It's great things to say right there, and look forward to
Yeah.
Ash.
Um, I mean, Mia said everything. I look forward to more of what we've done in season one. Just it feels like we're in our pocket right now. Like we are really deep in our bag of tightening up everything, and I love how we can implement changes so quickly on the fly, and still remain professional. And when we put it out to the people and the stoop kids, it's flawless. But we're really in the background doing the extra work it takes to put out a good product. And yeah, man, more Flash with Ash to come. I'm gonna constantly get in that creative bag and try to stomp y'all every week. And I might, if we get that engagement, might have to lean on some of the Stoop kids if they want to,
Mhm.
throw a question in or this or that. So
Mm. Yeah, I
yeah.
said, yeah, I really said everything for real, but same things that y'all both have said. Also, like I'm looking forward to the mystery movie. That's one thing we loved as kids is there's always a good mystery, and not just the TV show, but the snacks. We love the mystery Dum Dum or the mystery Sucker or the mystery Fruity Tootsie Roll. Like we love the mystery toy in the cereal box. So I'm looking forward to the participation. I'm putting it out there, speaking into existence that our listeners will start getting engaged and say, "Ooh, I hope my movie get picked for them to review." And I can't wait to see what they got to say about it and get some discourse similar to Crooklyn, from our listeners. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing how they feel about what we said or what they wanted to, that I'm looking forward to. Getting some more guests. I got some people in close proximity that I want to get on, and we might have somebody later in this year, depending on if I pick that movie or not. Um, so looking forward to some more guests. Shout out to all of our guests. Who do we have? I want to make sure I say it. I think we had Jay Boogie, Juice, School, Rich. Is that it?
I think so.
I think so. Yep. So shout out to all our guests, jumping on here. Also looking forward to, dang, Mia said that just the like fresh movies, but I just look forward to more of the funny moments. Like I'm just looking forward to like us creating more of these hilarious moments. Like I can't wait. So um all right, Stoop Kids, but before we get out of here, because we are getting into our first film of season 2, and that first film is in our food, family, and friendship, faithfulness, whatever. I don't know. Uh, it's now on you, Mia.
Okay. So I thought we were doing movies that meant something to us, right? But it's just movies about family.
I'm sorry, but yeah, but it's let me be more descriptive. My bad. Um, when I say that, I mean films that were important to your family coming up. So I'm trying to tag a line with it, but that's overall what it is. It don't have to be a Thanksgiving movie per se if you don't want it to be, but it's films that mean something to your household, your family coming up, that brought the family together. Like, oh, we all about to watch this type of film. So whatever it is, that's laying it out there. Thanks, Mia, for bringing me back on track. I kind of forgot that part.
Okay. Because I was about to say I'm gonna have to pick something else. But no. So I have another really, really important film to my family. So I might have to call in reinforcements because, they get real sensitive. You see my people be in the comments, they be sensitive about their shit. So, I had to take it a little further back, and we're doing a film from 1976. And this movie was actually remade, but we don't acknowledge that one. We only deal with the original here. And that is going to be Sparkle.
Hmm.
Sparkle. I've heard of this. I've heard of the remake. Did you talk about the remake?
If I talked about it, it wasn't nothing good, but I don't know.
So what give us a little layout of the film and what made you pick that film?
Okay, so Sparkle is, of course, it's one of Mama C's favorites. Of course, she introduced me to it. It's a film that she and I and my sister, my cousins, we watched a lot growing up. It was one of those that we could throw on and just kind of snuggle up under a blanket. We're singing along to the songs. We got really familiar with these characters. And it's another, you will find it's another gritty textured film because I love a little grit. It's very it's another very real uh there's some dark themes, but it's a really like it's a heartwarming, heartfelt movie that it'll tug at your heartstrings a little bit. It's definitely gonna evoke some emotion out of you. But it's set in New York, and it's about a family, a mom and her three daughters who get into the music industry and kind of some of the struggles that they go through and keeping their group and their family together while, going through some pretty harrowing things. But I don't want to give too much away because I don't think that either of you have seen it. But the remake was done by TD Jakes, and he changed a lot of the darker themes and lightened them up a little bit, but it took away from the story to me. So, and I haven't really seen anybody again review or talk about this film. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to introduce the new generation to some culture.
You have almost looking at this cover and the concept of what I believe this is. You definitely spawned a movie I know in our household. I will try not to pick it because
I know, right? She got me wanting to.
Yeah, that's how I was like. I'm looking at it, it's like, you didn't spark something for me. You see what I did there? Kind of sparkled something in my head there. So I'm looking forward to. I like old films too. I love the world building. It feels like a different world because it is to us. We didn't exist then, so I like seeing these type of films. I'm excited about it. Fire. Hey, listen. That's what me and do on here, man. Everybody know that's like, I'm gonna have to come up with a nickname here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna, Mia B, the B stand for B sides. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna give you all the B side films you ain't know nothing about, But okay, excited about it. Y'all stay tuned. We'll see if we'll have a guest stepping in. Mia, as you know, you will be leading the conversation. I will still do the overall discussion. And from that point on, you'll be leading it, and same thing will be in the next one of this. So I want to do that more, but I think this particular rotation definitely needs to lean to that, so that you could really immerse us into your world and your upbringing and the significance. So I want to make sure we handle this movie Sparkle with care. All right, y'all. Well, that is our episode. It's good to be back. Y'all stay tuned. Thank y'all for tuning into this. We'll be back next week talking about this film, getting into season 2, first episode. So thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all, it's time to get ready to spend time with our families. Love y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting us. 1 year strong. A lot of podcasts don't make it to 1 year. A lot of podcasts don't make it to 50 episodes. We have made it both, and we're shooting to get to that honey bun, to make that small stat that very rarely does any podcast get to these days. So thank y'all for tuning in. Peace out.